future for Canelo Alvarez is now becoming more clear after it was reported this morning that he is unlikely to sign a new deal with PBC and Al Haymon. Matchroom, DAZN and Eddie Hearn seem to be the front-runners for the pound-for-pound star's signature, with the likes of Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia both listed as possible future targets and future fights for Alvarez. There has been talk for months regarding Canelo and who he will fight in May and September, with the likes of Jamal Charlo, David Benavidez and Terence Crawford all mentioned. It appeared that negotiations were hitting a stalemate due to disagreements over the opponent, with the PBC believed to have given the Mexican pound-for-pound star an ultimatum regarding who they wanted him to fight. Another twist has now occurred, with Canelo set to depart PBC and return to Matchroom Boxing and DAZN, with fights against Munguia and Berlanga reportedly both lined up, according to ESPN journalist Salvador Rodriguez. Rick Glazer has also claimed that Canelo is no longer with the PBC. He has said that the money has not been delivered from escrow for Canelo's previous fights, and now, like claimed by the other source, is headed back to DAZN and Eddie Hearn, where there are further fights to make for the Mexican star. This could be a big hit for Haymon and PBC, losing such a money generator like Canelo, who can gather the crowds in the US and in Mexico, but a big plus for Matchroom and DAZN, getting back Canelo after just a couple of fights away, and some big fights to be delivered for Canelo and DAZN subscribers. Of course, Canelo is no stranger to these huge deals. In just 2018, he signed a 5-year, 11-fight deal worth a minimum of $365 million with DAZN, the first time that Eddie Hearn had managed to capture Canelo Alvarez. Some big fights followed for Alvarez, the likes of Billy Joe Saunders, tempted over to the US, a win over Caleb Plant, and then the second loss of his career coming to Dmitry Bivol. He also had the third fight, the long-awaited third fight, with Gennady Golovkin, and defeated John Ryder before departing for PBC. It now looks though he could return and have a couple of fights under Eddie Hearn's Matchroom banner once again. Amongst all the negotiations, former world champion Paulie Malignaggi has claimed that this is the biggest duck job since Mike Tyson ducked Lennox Lewis, referring to Canelo Alvarez not facing David Benavidez. He claims that it might be the biggest duck job ever, a mandatory situation, a champion with an undisputed title, the public clamouring for it, and the best fighter in the weight class that deserves it. The challenger is known and already headlines pay-per-views. Malignaggi believing that the fight between Benavidez and Canelo should go ahead at Cinco de Mayo this May, instead of some of the other options that have been tabled for Canelo. Canelo is now touted to fight the likes of Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia. Berlanga got the win just over the weekend against Paddy McCrory, getting it done in convincing fashion, a KO win in just the 5th round. Munguia was victorious just a few weeks back over John Ryder, who has now hung up his gloves and has been calling for that Canelo fight for a number of years. Could it finally be delivered, Munguia against Canelo? Let us know in the comments below what you expect Canelo Alvarez to do next, and who you expect and even want him to face. Do you want that Benavidez showdown? Do you want to see Mexico versus Puerto Rico in Berlanga against Canelo? Or do you want to see Munguia finally get his shot in an all-Mexican showdown? There's plenty of other options for Canelo as well, so let us know who you want to see him fight next, and we'll see you soon on Seconds Out.